What's
What's
up,
What's
up,
up,
Wolfpack?
Wolfpack?
Today we're going to be discussing was George Washington a goat on the track? I'm here joined with Grant and Marshall from our recent discoveries on the trout video. He's also joining us again. Um,
Hello.
so, who would like to give the introduction?
I'll give the introduction here. So, George Washington was an amazing guy. The things that he put in motion for this great nation, and the hype he has built up through those actions it's truly amazing. It's truly impeccable. He did tons of cool stuff. But does this hype that he built up through the revolution, does it live up on the track? Reagan, uh, yeah.
So, as you can see in the bottom right, all right, Marshall, uh, what do you
Next
think?
slide. So
Uh,
as you can see, George Washington was a pretty slender, tall man. He stood at a whopping 6 feet when the average height was only 5'5". Now, it's since he has 6 feet, that means he has 30 toes, which means wait, what the hell is this calculation? Anyways, he has 5 toes per foot. It doesn't make any sense. Anyways, he could
what doesn't
probably
what
run a
doesn't
mean
make
40
what doesn't
yard if
make
I had
sense
to
about
guess.
it? What doesn't make sense? It makes perfect
Right.
sense.
Okay, well yeah,
Yeah.
you're saying it's the equals 5 toes per feet. That's going to be a variable, not an equal sign. It's going to
Well,
be a variable of the equation.
well,
So five
no,
toes
no,
per
because
five toes
no,
per.
because
So
he
if
was
we
about 6 feet tall and ran a 40-yard dash in 4.5 seconds. That's why the 6/30 is 5.
Should we just
okay, run
restart
that back
and
again.
figure out what? Yeah.
Run that back.
So okay, so the 6 foot, right? The 6 foot he ran a 40-yard in 4.5 seconds, right? And the 6 foot over 30 equals 5 toes per foot, meaning that he could run a 40-yard dash in 4.5 seconds. I don't understand what you're not getting about that.
All right, 6 foot over 30. Oh, you're right. 65 divided by 30 is 5 toes per feet. You're right.
I know. Why
I
do you
don't know
think
why I
I?
didn't just
Okay.
count the toes on those feet, man. I'm so sorry.
It's
Okay.
all
Well,
right.
let's run it back.
All right, so as you can see, George Washington was a pretty tall, slender man, standing at a whopping 6 foot. The average height was 5'5" for the time. He could run a 40 yard in 4.5 seconds. So we have the 6 feet divided by the 30 toes. That means he has 5 toes per foot. More toes equals more traction equals more speed. Hence why he could run the 4.5 second 40 yard dash.
All right. Cool.
May I add something here, Marshall?
Sure.
So for reference, a 4.5 second 40-yard dash is amazing. The average NFL receiver runs about a 4.8. So in a time where everyone that he was fighting with and were on his side were all midgets, this was ridiculous. He would practically teleport to his enemies in the revolution and backstab them over and over and over again to win these battles. His speed was unmatched by any other person on the world um, in this day and age. Actually, um, his amount of toes per foot is actually very very important here too. If it was any less or any more, it could be too much or too little traction,
Yeah,
and so
could
this
be
puts him.
detrimental.
Yeah, it could be severely detrimental to his speed, and he what he's doing here is simply
And
remarkable.
the picture on the
Um,
right just goes to show how the toes have effect on the massive stride that he is using right there on that picture on the right.
of
Of course,
course.
it's a dramatic recreation, but based on various studies and simulations, this is as close as they could get it to the actual stride of George Washington.
Speaking of simulations, we actually did run a simulation in a highly advanced
You're
software.
right. Yes, we did.
I'd like to share the findings of that right now.
Wow.
Wow.
And see, even his jump
Look at
height
that.
just goes to show. Um, so that right there was the only time he's fallen ever. Actually, he was almost perfect, akin to Jesus, but
Not
that
to mention, look at that durability. He didn't take a single lick of damage.
yeah, he just laid there and he took it. He got back up. His jump height also is truly remarkable and really goes to show um, the
The
beef that
power that
he.
are in those toes. You're
Just
right.
the absolute
Yeah.
explosiveness that he has for being as big as he was.
All right.
So as you can see, this diagram on the right, every purple dot is a water well in the state of Texas. Why is well water obsolete? Well, if we can capture rainwater um, and really capture those customers, we'll be privatizing survival. That means our customers will be long term, right? Also, rainwater is a much higher quality product. It's a better alternative to well water. And enormous sections of the state are relying on well water, as you can see in the diagram to the right. It also demands great growth potential, and the harvesting demand across the board is expected to experience substantial growth throughout 2027, according to Fortune Business Insights, a study they did in 2021. And it provides us with an eco-friendly reputation. And as you know, any really, really good image is great for business. I'd like to thank you for sitting in with us and considering our offer. Once again, thank you for your time.
Um, yeah, so I've been just having a really hard time lately. Like I just haven't been happy at all. Like it's just been really hard to get up in the mornings. Maybe you guys understand also, but it's just like it's really been a struggle. I really don't know what it is. I'm just like kind of in this rut. I just
Why didn't you tell us?
I don't know, man. It's just I don't know how to get out of it. It's like I'm just having a really hard time right now. You know, nothing really seems to be going my way. Um,
Did you
just
ever think that maybe it's one of the shadow people that have latched onto your soul?
so
Yeah, I met
sometimes
the Hat Man the other day.
Yeah.
sometimes
Like whenever I was young, there was a guy called Big Captain. He was one of the shadow people, and he didn't let go of me for a very long time. And I think you should maybe try to find a way to see if it's one of these shadow people that have latched onto your soul.
sometimes whenever I lay in bed, like the sickness will flare up and I'll have to like skitter around my room a little bit. Then like the bugs, um,
You
uh,
get yeah, I get those hives come up on my elbows, and they're unbearable. Like
yeah, like
like
I've started like cutting
when
away
the
parts of my
fog
skin.
starts to seep out of
Oh,
them.
dude, the fog. I thought that was just me. That is probably the worst part. Whenever the fog starts coming out of them.
And you have
Jesus,
to
dude.
sit there and continuously laugh as the only way to try to stop this darkness overwhelming you. Like there have been multiple times where I've sat down and just stared off into space and laughed to myself for multiple
Yeah,
hours to try to stop this.
it's like almost one of those pains that are almost like painstakingly unbearable. That it's almost joyous.
Yeah, it's like it's you like it's like your brain pulls like a ripcord, and so it's just like you're just in this like catatonic state, and like you cannot do anything but laugh because there's no human emotion that can express just the dread and horror that you feel whenever the shadow people and the fog start rolling in.
It's like that one time I stepped into a pot of scalding water, and it was so hot that it felt cold, but my skin was peeling off, and it got really black, and I got gangrene and necrosis.
And sometimes whenever I ask them what their name is, it's typically multiple people in one spectral body. Like the last time it happened, I asked what their name was, and it said it was Balthazar, Hitler, and Satan were in my were in my closet.
That's like as bad as it could get, really. You
Yeah,
can't get any
really.
Yeah.
worse than that.
I haven't talked to Balthazar in a while, but last time I did, me and him we went to we actually projected and we went and met with Azathoth in the other Eldritch gods. We went and met with them.
Yeah,
You should keep
Balthazar.
keep a holy Bible by your bed. King James version, they really really don't like that one.
Really?
Yeah.
Like they really don't like it.
Especially if you have one of the original like old Latin Bibles, they hate those. Those will
So I've
do
actually,
significant damage.
I actually got my hands on a copy of the original Dead Sea Scrolls. So do you think they might not like that either?
I mean,
Yeah.
yeah, they probably like start. You can probably hear their souls are just searing in pain at that one.
Old, yeah, really old artifacts like that are from like the birthplace or like the birth time of these demons are what's really effective. Um, as you can hear right now, I'm being overtaken.
Wow, that's
Yeah, we
incredible.
just gotta give him his time. I
Yeah.
think.
Okay, I think I'm back. They let go of me for a second here to complete what I was gonna say, but I think my final words to this is the what I was saying with Balthazar, Hitler, and Satan. Hitler and Satan are very bad. Those two will really do it, and I'm not talking about like the 1939 Hitler. I'm talking about the Hitler born in 27 AD that was conjured up by a group of um like some cult that killed multiple people and created this demon through the emotions that these people were feeling, and he's actually now one of the seven dukes of hell, and he's really a bad guy, but Balthazar is actually pretty chill.
Yeah, I haven't had too much contact with Balthazar recently. Ever since the so let me preface. There was this a hole opened in my wall the other day, and there was an eyeball that just kind of poked out, and it's been gone ever since. So I think that was maybe Balthazar trying to say something,
Yeah, I
but
told you should not have removed that Burger King sign from your wall, man.
you're right. You're right. Ever since then, and also the removal of the seven seals that were above all my doors. That's also let in some evil spirits, I think.
Learned that if you do the Passover ritual where you get the lamb's blood, put
Okay.
it over your doorways, that also helps.
Oh, okay, cool. So anyway, yeah, George Washington. I think that he could have very
Yeah,
possibly
yeah, he.
run a 4.5 second 40-yard dash. It seemed totally plausible with all the evidence that we've been given and seen. So, anybody have any closing
Oh,
remarks?
actually, my last closing remark is that um so these demons we've been seeing, I realized that the Shroud of Turin is actually a incredible artifact to get rid of these guys. It was made
I didn't even
between the
think of that
years of
one.
like
Dude, you're right. No,
yeah,
I
it
did
was
not
made
even think of
between
that.
the years of like 2060 and 3090, and this artifact really does it. And then a last artifact that I think is amazing is the Deketh Hinnom scrolls, dating back to like 600 BC. Those will really be a turnoff.
But you know what I heard about the Shroud of Turin is that it was created in the first century at the death of Christ, stolen by time travelers in the 14th century, showed up in 2030,
Time
and
travelers. You mean
then
the
Yeah,
Rothschild Foundation?
yes, yeah,
Wow, incredible.
yeah. This is truly incredible findings. I believe that's the end of these closing remarks. Reagan, do you have any actually? Do you have any closing remarks here?
None that I can say publicly,
Okay.
without fear of them coming after me.
Yeah. I actually forgot that I shouldn't have probably said the name of those ancient artifacts.
we can
I
bleep them out, and don't worry, we can bleep them
Yeah,
out.
don't worry.
okay.
Don't worry, kids drink your Ovaltine.
Yeah.
Yeah,
There we go.
and get vaccinated.
And don't let the shadow people get too close.
Don't let the bed bugs bite. You know,
And remember, uh,
and remember, uh, part of the pack.
you,
You always come back.
amen.
And with the heart of the pack comes packs of Camel cigarettes for free. that show up at the bottom of your bed. If you're into chain
And your
smoking,
Christmas stockings.
there you go.
Incredible. Thank you everybody for joining us. The end.